Good evening, I'm Cynthia Ng. You are tuning in to AWANI Tonight. Malaysia heads to the polls on November 19th, and Liz Truss resigns as UK Prime Minister. More on that coming up. UK Prime Minister Liz Truss has tendered her resignation after just 45 days in office. This makes her the shortest-serving Prime Minister ever in the country's history. Truss said that she could not deliver the mandate she was elected on and has notified King Charles III on her resignation as Tory leader. Conservatives will be choosing a new UK leader within a week. Trouble for Truss began last month when her Chancellor, Kwasi Kwarteng, unveiled a controversial mini-budget, spooking financial markets and sending the pound plunging. Kwarteng was sacked soon after, and almost all of the proposals in the mini-budget was reversed. But that has failed to ease the anger within the parliamentary party. Truss's leadership remained under pressure following the resignation of her Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, and a chaotic vote on fracking in the House of Commons last night sealed her fate.
Given the situation, I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party. This morning I met the chairman of the 1922 committee, Sir Graham Brady. We've agreed that there will be a leadership election to be completed within the next week. This will ensure that we remain on a path to deliver our fiscal plans and maintain our country's economic stability and national security. I will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen. Thank you.
The Election Commission (EC) has announced polling day for the 15th general election on Saturday, November 19th. Nomination day is set for November 5th with a campaigning period of 14 days.
Early polling, meanwhile, will take place on November 15th. State elections for Perlis, Perak and Pahang, as well as the Bugaya by-election, will follow these dates. EC Chairperson Tan Sri Abdul Ghani Saleh at a press conference in Putrajaya announced the key dates that were decided during its meeting today. He added that applications for postal ballots for overseas voters, opened since October 10th, will be closed on October 23rd. GE15 will see contests in 222 parliamentary seats, 42 state seats in Pahang, 15 state seats in Perlis, 59 state seats in Perak and 1 state seat in Sabah.
Now that the EC has announced key dates for the upcoming general elections, what are the key issues to keep an eye out for as Malaysia prepares to vote? We speak to political analyst from USM, Professor Dr. Siva Murugan Pandian.
14 days allow the party to decide on the selection of candidates, on the seats allocation, and also to minimize the sabotage within the party. I think we have seen politicking being continuously done since 9th May 2018, non-stop politics. There have been movement, realignment, and also engagement within political parties and also the masses. So I think 14 days only a formal way to campaign when they have started informal ways to meet and also have activities, programs with their respective voters in their own constituencies.
Meanwhile, he said that the EC must also have a plan in place to prepare for the possibility of floods occurring during polling day.
I think EC should have a contingency plan or emergency plan to make sure that they don't risk the safety of the voters. Safety comes first. In fact, I think they can coordinate with the district, state or national disaster management committee to ensure that the poll can be conducted smoothly. Transport maybe can be provided. You can have relief centers and also plans to mitigate during flood. I think what is important is the coordination between the agencies involved to ensure that EC will be seen as managing crisis or conflict in a situation where they can provide the best to the voters. We do not want to see voters at the end complain or accuse EC mismanaged the way they can have or held the elections.
Now, shortly after GE15 dates were announced, many Malaysians took to social media to express their frustration after finding flight ticket prices have spiked during the election weekend. Now, will this situation deter voters from heading back to their constituencies to vote this November 19th?
The agencies involved can always negotiate and also try to find ways, a win-win situation for both. Those who plan to come back maybe should be given discount. Maybe they should have some agreement with transport agencies, organization, in order to allow the voters to come back and vote. In fact, I think we have seen this in 2018. There were many groups who initiated and also make moves to allow voters to come back and vote. But in this current situation, I do not know whether the momentum or the situation is similar to 2018. 2018, we saw there was a different kind of momentum. Voters were kind of enthusiastic to come out and vote on their own. But this time around, we see many fatigue voters who kind of like thinking whether they should go out vote or should they just stay at home. So I think this is not only the role that should be played by EC or any other agencies. Political parties should encourage their voters, also look for alternative ways to get the voters come out and vote.
Staying on this topic, when voting is made difficult, is it a form of voter suppression? Now, tonight on Consider This, we speak to our guests about the ways in which civil society is stepping up to plug the gaps of government ineptitude. Meanwhile, MAVCOM, the Malaysian Aviation Commission, will monitor the pricing of flight tickets to ensure that airlines do not hike up prices arbitrarily leading up to GE15. Transport Minister Datuk Sri Wee Ka Siong said that MAVCOM can intervene if airlines have unreasonably increased prices for flight tickets. According to Dr. Wee, local and international airlines had always practiced dynamic pricing, which is subjected to the supply and demand based on date, time and availability of seats in a time frame. As such, early bookings will tend to have cheaper prices, and when it is closer to a specific event, the price will be higher. Incumbent Batu Kawan MP Kasturi Pato will not defend her parliamentary seat in the upcoming general elections. After serving 2 terms since 2013, she has decided to step down to make way for future leaders in DAP and Malaysia.
Kasturi denied being dropped by the party and said the move was made on her own accord. She plans to continue pursuing her work on human rights, including the abolishment of the death penalty, criminalizing child marriages and gender inclusivity, among others. Kasturi won the Batu Kawan seat in 2013 with a majority of 25,962 votes. She went on to retain the seat with a bigger majority of 33,553 votes in the 2018 elections. She is currently DAP Deputy Secretary for International Affairs and was elected as President of the Parliamentarians for Global Action last December.
Prison inmates are not allowed to issue any statement for the purpose of campaigning in GE15. Prisons Department Senior Director for Prison Policy, Supri Hashim, said the ban covered all inmates, including former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Razak.
He said even letters or documents from inmates to their families would also be screened by the department first before they were sent out. According to Pekan UMNO Division Deputy Chief Zamri Ramli, Najib is named as one of Barisan Nasional's 5 potential candidates for the parliamentary seat of Pekan in Pahang. Last week, the Prison Department confirmed that the incumbent Pekan MP will not be allowed to go out to campaign during the upcoming general elections, as long as he is still serving his jail sentence. Najib is currently in jail for a prison term of 12 years.
Leading up to polling day about a month away, we will be featuring Question of the Day to get your thoughts on the state of the political situation in Malaysia. Now, for today, we would like to know that are you aware of your responsibility as a voter this GE15? All you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen right now to share your thoughts. And for more, head over to undi.astroawani.com to answer these daily questions. We will take a quick break now. Stay tuned for more.
Alami kehebatan dunia Unified TV dengan lebih 70 saluran premium dan 16 aplikasi penstreaman. Tonton dan nikmati rancangan kanak-kanak, liputan sukan, drama Korea dan filem terkini bila-bila masa di mana jua. Dapatkan Unify hari ini.
Unify. Inspirasi alam semula jadi menjadi pilihan agar idea saya sentiasa segar. Ditemani teh hijau boh, kini saya terinspirasi. Teh hijau boh, ada boh, ada
What's the latest scoop when it comes to companies, markets and strategies? For everything business and tech related, catch Notepad with me, Ibrahim Sani, weekdays 10:30 PM across all AWANI platforms.
Welcome back. The Indonesian government is suspending the sales of all syrup and liquid medicine prescription and over-the-counter sales. This as medical authorities are investigating a spike in acute kidney damage that has killed nearly 100 children since the start of this year. Authorities are looking into the potential of toxicity use in the liquid drugs.
Indonesian health authorities said it received 206 reported cases of acute kidney injury or AKI from 20 provinces with 99 deaths, but it warned the real number of cases could be higher than reported. The rise in childhood AKI fatalities in Indonesia comes as the Gambia's government probes the death of 70 children from AKI linked to paracetamol syrups used to treat fever, which contain excessive levels of diethylene glycol and ethylene glycol. The syrups were made by New Delhi-based Maiden Pharmaceuticals, which India and the World Health Organization is investigating. Indonesia's Food and Drug Agency has said those particular products were not available locally, but is taking precaution following the spike in AKI fatalities among children.
Farmers in New Zealand took to the streets to protest against the government's plan to tax emissions from farm animals. Over 50 protests took place in towns and cities across the country, disrupting traffic in Auckland and Christchurch, among others.
Organizers of the protest said the tax threatened the viability of local farmers. They also argued that any reduction in livestock emissions will be replaced by less efficient foreign farmers. The government proposed a new levy last week, seeking to tax greenhouse gases that cattle and sheep produce through their burps and urine. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern had pledged the nation will become carbon neutral by 2050. Part of that plan includes reducing methane emissions from farm animals by 10% by 2030 and up to 47% by 2050.
We want to hear your thoughts on GE15. Here is the question of the day displayed on the screen. Now, all you have to do is scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to share your thoughts. The results of these questionnaires will be revealed daily. Exercise your right to vote and you have the power to choose your future. My name is Cynthia Ng. Thank you for watching. Good night.